The Samsung Galaxy S4 is one of the top 10 most popular Android phones today, which means a lot of my peeps are rocking this bad boy. Which means I'm getting a lot of calls about fixing broken screens. Well, instead of me fixing everyone's phone, how about I show you how to fix it yourself? Wait till you see how easy this repair is. Hey, it's Gwendolyn with iFixit, and today I'm going to be walking you through replacing the display assembly in your Galaxy S4. This is just an overview, so as always, be sure to check out our step-by-step guides when you do your repair. For this repair, you're going to need a Phillips 00 screwdriver, a plastic opening tool, tweezers, and a spudger. I have all the tools I need in my ProTech toolkit, and I also have my magnetic mat here. It's not required for this repair, but it definitely comes in handy when you're trying to keep track of all those small screws like the ones that are in this phone. Now that I have everything I need, let's get started. Brace yourself for a smooth repair. This first step is so simple you may not even need a tool. At the top side of the rear case of the phone, you'll see a small gap. You can place your opening tool there or a fingernail and work your way left, and it should pop right off. And before you set your phone down, just go ahead and take the battery out. You shouldn't need any tools for this either, but if you're having trouble grabbing a hold of it, you can use one of the plastic opening tools to lift it out a little. So next, we need to get the micro SD and the SIM card out. To do that, we just need to push them in just a little bit further until you hear or feel a click, and then it should just slide right out. Okay, now we need to remove the 9 screws that are securing the plastic midframe. Sometimes the screws don't want to come out even when they're all the way unscrewed, so you can try to grab that with your fingernails or pick up your tweezers and try to get them out. The S4 midframe is actually connected to the display assembly by some small clips, so we're going to use our opening tool to separate those parts. Start on the same side as the volume button and work your way down the side, just sliding the opening tool between the midframe and the display assembly. Be careful though, there are several points along the bezel that could crack if you bend it too much. With the midframe taken care of, we have a few cables to disconnect before we move on to removing the motherboard. Now that we have the motherboard off, we can remove the last few parts that are attached to the display assembly. First up, we'll tackle the headphone jack. There's a single 00 screw securing it, and once you remove that, you can use your tweezers to lift it off. And while you have your tweezers handy, go ahead and remove your front-facing camera and your earpiece speaker assembly. Next is the vibrator. Using the tip of our spudger, we're going to release it from its adhesive. It's not going to come out all the way since it's still attached by a cable, so just loosen it and then use your spudger to pry up the cable. The next step is going to be using the tip of our spudger between the USB port and the USB port bracket to pry one side of the bracket off the post. Then you can use the tweezers or your fingers to take the bracket off. The last few steps are super simple. We're just going to use the flat end of our spudger to disconnect the soft button cable and the antenna connector cable from the USB board. Next, we need to remove the USB board. It's only held on by a little light adhesive, so you can use the flat end of your spudger to remove that. And finally, you can see our little antenna cable running alongside of the phone. Just gently peel that out and your display assembly is free. And now you're ready for your new display assembly. You can find all the parts and tools you need for this and many more repairs at iFixit.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all our latest teardowns and repair videos. Follow us on Twitter at iFixit and give us a like on Facebook at facebook.com/iFixit.